said, Chris, thanks to you, we beat everybody in town.
What made you even want to do this?
When I was a child, my dad was an engineer of KLVL radio station in Houston, and they had a requirement, and I presume it's still an FCC requirement, where if you have a radio station, you have to do a certain amount of local programming from the location where you have your license. Well, the license was in Pasadena. I grew up in Pasadena and Deer Park. And so to meet their requirement with the FCC, the owners of the station said, hey, why don't you get your son to do a radio show? And I was like, okay, because I was pretty into electronics and things like that with my dad being an engineer. So I started doing a little radio show on KLVL radio, and it was on Saturday nights. And they used to run the Pasadena High School football game audio of the game on their station. So I had a pretty good audience. It was in English. It was a Spanish station, but the football game was in English. So my show came on right after that, and I played, English music, but it was created in Pasadena. So that took care of their FCC requirements. So then after that, they wanted me to do a little local newscast. So I started doing a local newscast when I was in high school there. And kind of making a long story short, I wrote all of the TV stations in Houston when I was in high school and said, I'd like to ride with one of your crews. And the only person that responded was Ray Miller at Channel 2.
Wow.
I went and rode with the news crew. I got to meet Mr. Miller. He gave me a card with the phone number of the station on it. He said, anytime you get news, please call me. Well, I started feeding him stories as I was finding it in Pasadena there. And there was one day when I'd been to the police station getting my information for my news story that I was going to do that night. I'm driving down the road, and I hear on the back channel on the police radio that I had that there was a helicopter heading over to Friendswood to help look for a little girl that was being held for $1 million ransom. I said, wow.
Jeez.
So I stopped, called Mr. Miller. I said, I think you need to get a crew on this. This sounds legit. And I went back to the station and started feeding him information as I got it. And they went out there that night on the news. Channel 2 had everything. They had the search. They had the capture of the suspect, the reuniting of the little girl with her parents, the whole story. It was great, And next morning, and the other stations had nothing. At the end of the day at 10 o'clock, the other stations just had a picture of the suspect walking down the hall of the police station. So Mr. Miller called me at 8:30 the next morning. He said, Chris, thanks to you, we beat everybody in town. I said, Mr. Miller, would it be okay if I rode with crews again? He said, you can ride as much as you want, anytime you want. And so that's when I started riding.